So in this video, I'm gonna do a VOD review for GTM Joshi. Bam! A plat Magneto player, and we'll just go over some, fundamentals of the game and tips and tricks that can help you rank up. So let's go back to the start of the game, and it'll just be a little bit before I find something to talk about. First thing I see is we're the only tank on the team, so we're going to be taking a lot more extra damage. We might be using bubbles and shield to protect ourselves a bit more. Yeah, if you caught that, just got the nest out of the way right away. Though we've just lost two demon shielders on our team, Squirrel and Scarlet. So we just lost another. It's a 3v6. Right, so using your bubble for yourself, using your shield for yourself. Of course, we're gonna die, right? What can you do when there's 6 people looking at you and no one else? Well, I think one thing we could have done here is probably have gotten out earlier. So one way you can tell when to get out so that you can survive for the next fight would be watching the kill feed, right? So you can see earlier we know 2 people are dead if we're watching kill feed. Now it's the 3rd person dead. Whenever 3 people are down, generally that's a good sign that uh, there's not really a chance for us to win this fight. And if you die now, it's just going to make it take longer for you all to regroup. And that's why I say die now, like now, or just get out. And I think you have time to get out. You have a bubble, you have a shield. Just keep on going. Instead, we kind of stand around, and that gives us no chance to escape. Alright, let's go ahead a bit. Alright, so you're looking for some way to break into this bunker. You said to go high ground. I like that call. It's going to give you a good angle on the penny nest and the storm and so on. Alright, so kill feed tells us they're down a healer. And use the Scarlet Witch team up to do extra damage, which is great. So shooting the storm. Alright, so let's go back. So whenever we're choosing who to shoot, it's a good idea to go for people who are very dangerous and are pretty easy to kill. So, like Storm, right? She's standing out in the open. Now, notice what happens to her health bar, though. It's just patched up. It gets patched up again, right? And it's because Loki's right there. So, while Storm has a low health bar, she's not very easy to kill. Instead, what I wanted you to do is actually just shoot the healer here. By shooting the Loki, he's not going to be able to heal himself, right? He's going to have to be forced to just react to you, so shooting you. And you win those 1v1s every time. But not necessarily with Storm who's getting healed. So, I can show you a clip of that. There's a Magneto clip save. This is something a lot of top Magneto players will do, is they just kind of like, they just put the healers first, right? They're always trying to kill healers. So you can see here, we have Magneto, and there's a Groot right in front of him. And he's just gonna say, screw Groot, I want to kill Luna. And of course she pops ult, so it doesn't really make a big difference. But he puts pressure on her, so she has to do that. It's kind of like with Loki here. You can put pressure on the healer, so that they have to use like their lamp to heal themselves or something. And that will create more value for your team. Alright, so we lose Invis, we lost Scarlet earlier, so down a few people, down another. Alright, so what do you think is the next best play? We have a few options, right? We could stay to fight and just try to take down this Penny and the Storm and all that. We could back out. Okay, let's see. Ideally, I would want you to back out, because you're down a couple of healers, we already saw you're down damage dealers too. There's just no way you're going to win this. 1v everything. But maybe if you get out, you can do it with your team.
Wait for your chaos.
Yeah, it's kind of taking out the
Rest
storm.
now, my child. Your troubled days are over.
Alright, so you kind of scare her away, and taking this fight ends up being a good idea, because it's just a 1v1, the petty leaves. As far as hitting your shots,
Rest.
um, I want you to pay attention to why these shots were missed. Look, notice how you're moving, especially. Alright,
Rest now,
so we're
my
gonna move
child.
left, and we're gonna move left, and we're gonna accidentally mess up the game. So moving when you're shooting is a really good thing. It's good because it makes it harder for other people to hit you. Now, notice that she's
Your
not looking at you, right? And the second she's not looking at you, you can make it even easier to hit your shots by just standing still. No one's looking at you, right? So why not? I think you would have hit that shot. So something to keep in mind. Alright, so we're super low on health. Alright, so use your bubble.
stranger.
Yep, because you're really low on health. That's okay.
Enemy ahead. Prepare to
Okay.
engage.
Yep, so the point's ticking down and you're realizing, like, I gotta get there. Someone's gotta get there.
Magic and magnetism.
Alright, 1 second. Alright, so we know that the point's gonna go to OT. Captain America took care of the point. Though it can help a lot to be part of one of the people who is touching point at that last second, so you can make sure it goes to overtime.
Us against the
Yep.
world. Fear Magneto.
Yep. Nice, right? So you see the cloak ult, and you just say, I can use my Magneto ult to kill her. So you do, right at the end of her dash. Just like how it's done. Super solid. That's probably gonna win the fight. Now, one thing I want to point out though that made this a lot harder than it had to be is I want you to notice how much work you have to put in to keep track of the cloak who's dashing really fast, right? So
Magneto.
it's like a whole rotation. It's like half a second turn, right? And you get there in time, but it's really in the nick of time. One thing that I think is causing this is you have a really low sensitivity and you're playing on controller. So one thing that can definitely help is turning up that sensitivity. And what that'll help you do is whenever you're making those turns, like you did right there, like from here to here, if you have a higher sensitivity, you can easily make that flick to keep up with someone moving quickly. Of course, as far as changing that, don't have to turn it up all the way. You probably have low sensitivity for a reason. Maybe you find that easier to hit your shots, and that's good. Uh, just yeah, work on that a little bit, turn it up bit by bit, and find something that's comfortable. Okay,
Exactly what I hoped to find.
all right.
Your powers are
Um,
mine.
hmm. All right, so we stood around it a little bit, and we take a lot of damage. Then I see you go to health pack. So if I haven't already mentioned this, we only have one healer, and our healer also happens to be walking back from spawn. So totally get the health pack play. Though, notice what happens whenever you
You
leave
cannot
your
hurt
team.
me. Your powers are mine.
Alright, so the enemy team's gonna realize, oh wait, they're down a tank. What? Let's go. The Storm's gonna ult, and Storm ult kills Scarlet, basically. And, now you just came back. So what I really would have wanted you to do was just, um, whenever you're asking yourself, alright, how can I get healed up? I want you to, like, look around for your healer, and also hit the needed healing button. Uh, you know, the one that you hear your teammates saying all the time. Like, in game, need healing. And then Invis is gonna know. Oh shoot, he needs healing. And if you looked around, you would have known. This is right there. Now, what this is going to do is keep you with your team. And it's very important to be with your team because whenever they push in, you have the abilities to protect your team. You could have bubbled Scarlet, um, and you could have shielded the ult. So, um, that what that looks like, bubbling a teammate whenever you see an ult, it's kind of like this. I'll show you a clip. All right, so yep, this Magneto's on point. He hears the Widowmaker ult, or the Black Widow, say Plasma Burst, and then he's just gonna turn to his teammate and say, "Yep, you need a shield." So he gives him a shield, and he just turns away and goes back to his business. And I think that's definitely one thing you could have done whenever Storm ulted, although you weren't there to do it.
Now, my child, your two primal forces.
Okay. Now at this point where it's just hard. It's just really hard to win this. So we're down people. Yo! Okay, so little thinking about what I saw there. So some things that could help is probably resetting with your team whenever a fight's lost. And you can pay attention to the kill feed and notice when people are down so that you can group up with your team. The Marvel Rivals replay viewer is broken, but now it's fixed. Missing is a bit of target priority. Just paying a bit more attention on all the healers. I like how you're taking care of the nest pretty much every single time, which is great. The same way, healers are super high priority, so just trying to put pressure on them with your shots can do a lot. Um, and finally, positioning with your team, especially because you're the solo tank. Um, oh, not anymore, but we have a lot better team comp now. So we were the solo tank. And what I mean by that is, your team needs someone that can soak up the damage and be the front line. And if you're in health pack land, we don't have a tank. We need you. Alright, so getting back to this, the game's starting, so let's focus on that. You choose to go for the nest as soon as you see it. You walk up, use this bubble, and then continue shooting. Notice this. So watch this back. Bubble, shoot, shoot, we get stunned. There's a storm ulting our backline as well. Alright, so we hear this right away. And ideally what I want you to do here is look for your team, your supports behind you, and give them a bubble only when the storm ult starts ripping through everyone in a tornado. Then use your shield to protect yourself so you and anyone behind you from taking damage. Now, instead, what I see you do is you hear the storm voice lines coming through, and you just say, alright, well, I can get the nest in the meantime. But by the time you get the nest, Storm's already killed your healers pretty much. Well, she's killed that healer, now she's gonna maybe probably really kill you.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
My power cannot be quelled.
Alright, so as soon as Storm gets that ult and it gets a few kills, that's the end of the fight, right? So that's what I really focused on, thinking about ways you could deal with that ult.
I feel like myself
Ooh.
again.
Sorry about that.
Not hurt me.
Wow, this is really hard. You just got everyone looking at you. Ooh. Alright. Let's go back for that. A small thing that can help is what I would have done here um to avoid a few problems you ran into, especially how you peeked out and tried to shoot the nest, then you were reloading. Although you had a shield, you didn't take damage for it. You had a bubble actually. You didn't take damage, but you were able to deal damage. What can help is in downtime before you make a push, you can actually reload now. Right? You can reload, take cover, you'll be at 10 shots, knowing that you're gonna push up with your bubble and shoot this nest. See how unfortunate. Oh, I could have got it by now. Again, I like to focus on taking care of that. Alright. So dealing with Squirrel, punching her.
Your attacks are futile.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Alright. I like that you're trying to finish her, right? You realize like she's low, she's kinda out of position. Um you take care of her. Though I really would have liked to see you just shoot her. So the shoot combo with Magneto is well, with your controller, I don't know how you say it, but you shoot your normal attack and then you use your mag cannon to charge up so you can get like a 2-hit combo. And maybe you don't hit one, but maybe you hit the other. And that probably kills Squirrel Girl.
Your attacks are futile.
You captured more than
Alright,
half
this
of the
wasn't
mission
happening the
area.
first time, but now apparently she's teleporting all over the place. And if that's something you ran into, then I'm just sorry. That NetEase cursed you in this moment.
Magneto!
Cloak fades away. I like that you turn and try to go for the storm. We're just gonna watch this one more time because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna hit that. And it's
Magneto!
why are we not gonna hit that? It's a controller, but it's not because you're playing controller. It's because you have a low sensitivity. And if you could just be able to flick like that, you probably would be there in time. But that's what we're gonna get. You get the kill on her, which is great. I'm just really thinking increasing that sensitivity is gonna make a big difference.
I wish I could say I was shocked, Aurora.
Anyone willing to help? Us against the world! The area's almost yours!
May your bright lady. Your powers are mine!
Us against the world!
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Mm.
I feel like myself
Nope, that's gonna be keen. Select distract a little bit more.
should be.
Alright, so we hear the storm ult. We don't have our shield, and we don't have a bubble we don't give a bubble to a teammate. So yeah, clearly you had to use your shield here. Um, and at this point, we're really low health. So I understand the bubble for yourself. I want to talk about how you might have had more health to begin with.
May your bright lady. Your powers are mine!
Let's notice when you take damage. Alright, that's when you take the most damage, right there. You can see your healers are distracted by being pushed in the back. So one thing I would have liked to see you do here is maybe whenever you're crossing in the open, use the shield a bit more quickly, using the bubble more quickly, and just pretty much trying not to be out in the open taking damage whenever we're like 400 health. You can use your cooldowns to get to cover like this and get to your healers and go back in. Um, but at this point, it's pretty much over. Right, the storm ult's gonna come through. You have no counter really. And that will be the game. All right. So, Josh, you're doing good, man.
Another
I
epic
mean, some things
victory!
that I can tell you're doing good
Win!
is you're good at staying alive, for one. Um, you're good at using uh cover often. You use your bubble for yourself often to protect yourself, which is all good. You're dealing a lot of damage and often to the right people. So dealing damage dealers like Storm, Squirrel Girl, dealing damage to the nest. But yeah, things to work on. The low-hanging fruit, like I brought up earlier, is the sensitivity, right? And probably watching that kill feed and make sure you're backing up and grouping up with your team when you can. So, and a bit of the higher level stuff is, make sure you're picking the right targets. Make sure you're using your shooting and your mag cannon to deal a lot of damage to the right targets. When I say the right targets, people who are easy to kill. Supports are number one, then damage dealers, then tanks. Um, Also make sure we're using cooldowns effectively to protect our teammates when we're taking a lot of damage. Give them bubbles. Shield yourself whenever you're taking a lot of damage as well. And that's pretty much it. I hope this is helpful for you, and I'll see you later.